This is Arise America.
Now, a group of US lawmakers from Congress have urged President Joe Biden to invite Cuba, Venezuela and Nicaragua to next week's summit of the Americas. They say the omission of those governments could undermine the position of the United States in the region. The summit will be held at a critical moment for Latin America and the Caribbean amid the hemisphere's struggle with a health and climate crisis. Let's now cross live to New Jersey, where we're joined by Arise US correspondent Rotimi Michael Kade. Rotimi, good to see you. Now, let's try and get to understand this situation. Why does the US want to avoid of inviting some countries?
Well, John, a very good question. The U.S., according to the White House, did say that they actually do not want to associate themselves with autocratic or authoritarian government in the Latin America, that's in Southern America, which includes Nicaragua and, of course, Venezuela. These both countries are being technically ruled by autocrats, people who don't believe much in democracy. And U.S. Relations with these countries, including Cuba, has been strained for a very long time. And the White House, under the Biden administration, believes that there can be any constructive contributions that could come out of it if these countries don't believe in the tenets of democracy.
Do some US lawmakers have a point that basically, if it's to be an inclusive summit of the Americas, then all countries basically should be invited, whether America likes the way a country is run or not?
Well, yes, of course. I mean, I want to agree with them on one hand that if you have to tackle the issue of migration, if you have to tackle the issue of poverty, in especially Southern America, all countries, regardless of their system of government, would need to attend that summit and also, lend their own side of the story to, how Latin America relations can benefit from, the United States. But on the other hand, the international policy of the United States that they don't like to associate themselves with governments they don't agree with. And Venezuela has been on the other side of the aisle with the U.S. for a very long time. But, the threat to this summit, which is causing a lot of, interest, is the president of Mexico, Lopez Obrador, who said that, well, I don't think I'm going to attend this meeting because this meeting is not about the Friends of America. This is about Americas, which means that all countries should be included. And if the U.S. goes ahead, I should say, to not include those countries they don't agree with, obviously he's not going to attend. And you have to also remember that the Mexico play a very big role. When you talk about the insecurity and the border migration, Mexico is a gateway, and that's why a lot of people are concerned that if Mexico exits this summit, obviously this summit could just be, not hold.
Could this be another embarrassment for President Biden, because his agenda domestically isn't working out? His opinion polls are falling through the roof. He's fighting inflation. He does seem to basically have taken the role at probably one of the worst times. He's trying to do this to show unity, but then I'm sure some of the, especially right-wing press, will say that this summit could be null and void if certain countries start deciding they're going to boycott it.
Well, I can tell you that President Biden's popularity has already taken a hit in the past few months, and this will definitely hit, more assault, to his popularity in the U.S. because I know that, as you said, the right-wing media organizations and Republicans will definitely pounce on it, even if they know in principle that what the president is doing is right. in the best interest of the United States, because look at the optics. President Biden standing side by side with Venezuela president or the Nicaraguan president to discuss, regional integration and unity. I don't think that really will be a very good optic for the president. But at the same time, you have to look at it from the angle of, whether this country should be included, because if they're not included, obviously, it's just going to be a Friends of America summit. It's not going to be the America summit. So I can tell you that, well, your guess is as good as mine as we move forward. If anything happens to this summit, doesn't turn out well, definitely this is going to be another blow on the Biden administration.
And with the summit, I think it's a week tomorrow when it takes place, or when it officially opens. What can we expect to be discussed? What's the agenda?
Well, the White House actually said that the president will like to see cooperation, greater cooperation with the rest of the Americas, that's the Southern American countries, and to see how they can reduce crime, they can eradicate poverty, and tackle the issue of migration, because these are very key issues that are indirectly affecting the United States. Don't forget that past administrations have complained about the influx of drugs from Southern America. So U.S. is looking at a way of rallying around those countries and seeing how they can put a stop to it even before it gets to its borders. So essentially, the president will be looking forward to getting a greater pledge from these countries on how to tackle their domestic issues in the interest of the United States.
And before you go, very quickly, Rotimi, I've been in countries where, for example, the G7 has been held, and there's been a lot of atmosphere, a lot of buzz, if you like, about a country holding it. Is there much interest in the US about this, or is it just seen as another set of politicians talking, and there's far more other issues to be talking around the water cooler too?
Well, obviously, this can take a shine off the G7 or G20 summit. I don't think it that's garnered enough interest in the U.S. as much as other meetings or summits. But it's also very critical, because a lot of people are looking forward to how the Biden administration can actually nip this on the board once and for all, the issue of migration. Don't forget, one of the reasons why the poll numbers are going down for the Biden administration is its inability to actually curb the crisis at the southern border. So there's a little bit of interest in it, in how to see whether this could be the magic wand that the Biden administration could use before the midterm elections.
Rotimi, we'll have to leave it there, but thank you very much indeed for your analysis. Rotimi Michael Kade, Arise US correspondent in New Jersey.
This is Arise America.